Alive. Gregory was a man of simple faith. It was Gregory, as much as anyone, who encouraged a belief in miracles and prophecies and in the relics of the saints, and who kicked off the popular idea of saints as almost magical folk-tale heroes and heroines. Belief in saints had been steadily growing. Since the early days of the Church, the bones of the martyrs had been venerated, but two things changed when Constantine became almost Christian. First, the shrines of these saints were blinged up to the max. We've seen how he built St. Peter's Basilica over the traditional side of St. Peter's grave in Rome. But other saints got the full VIC treatment. That's very important corpse. At the shrine of St. Lawrence at Rome, Constantine installed flights of stairs leading up and down from the grave, which he covered with a grille of solid silver weighing 1,000 pounds. This restricted access to only the most faithful. While at St. Peter's Shrine, according to Gregory of Tours, whoever wishes to pray there must unlock the gates which encircle the spot, pass to where he is above the grave, and, opening a little window, push his head through and there make supplication that he needs. Some people were allowed golden keys that opened these gates, the ecclesiastical equivalent of an access all areas backstage pass. Ordinary pilgrims would lower cloths onto the grave below and draw them up heavy with the blessing of St. Peter. Justinian later wrote to Rome requesting some bones of Peter. His request was flatly refused. Instead, they sent him one of these cloths. I imagine he was not best pleased. The second major development was that the supply of martyrs dried up. Christians just weren't being killed for their faith anymore. At least not proper Orthodox Christians, and the others didn't count. So more saints had to be found. Some were new saints. One of the earliest non-martyr saints was Martin of Tours. Elsewhere, the bones of famous Christians were miraculously happened upon. St. Stephen's bones, for example, were discovered in a field some 20 miles from Jerusalem in 415. The priest who found them was guided by a vision of Rabbi Gamaliel, who, along with Nicodemus, had apparently been buried there. The identification of the bones was confirmed because, on the opening of the coffin, the earth trembled and the air was filled with a smell of sweet perfume, such as no man had ever known. And 73 people were healed immediately. Why had this grave not been discovered before? Timing. Augustine said, "His body lay hidden for so long a time, it came forth when God wished it." Once the bones were discovered, they might stay in that place with a new shiny church built over the top, or be transferred to more important cities. Stephen's went to Jerusalem, and others went to Rome. And there people would visit them. Saints were assumed to be present somehow at their shrines. The inscription on the shrine of Martin of Tours ran, "Here lies Martin the Bishop, of holy memory, whose soul is in the hand of God, but he is fully here, present and made plain in miracles of every kind." The veneration of saints basically filled a gap. First, saints' days helped to replace the many pagan festivals and feast days that had previously been celebrated. When the 5th century Bishop of Javols went on a missionary journey into the Auvergne in France, he found peasants celebrating a 3-day festival where they would trek to the top of a mountain to make sacrifices to the old gods. He told them to acknowledge God and give veneration to his friends. After that, they carried on making the trek up the mountain, but this time to venerate St. Hilarius, some of whose bones were installed in a shrine there. Second, saints were people with influence. They were, in the Bishop of Javols' words, God's friends. In Roman society, and especially in court, everything depended on personal contacts and influence. As the church became more and more like the imperial court, cozying up to a pet saint gave people a way of having a word with the right people. Now you could know someone at the heavenly court. In the heavenly court, as in its earthly counterpart, it's not what you know, but who you know.